The first Pokemon card set of 2022, Brilliant Stars, releases worldwide on February 25th, but you'll be able to get your hands on it a week or two earlier thanks to pre-releases. There's not much more to say about Brilliant Stars other than it will provide one of the greatest shakeups ever in competitive play. By all accounts, Brilliant Stars should include the 35 brand new cards from Japan's Start Deck 100 plus the 100 cards from Starbirth, as well as some others. I'll mostly be previewing the Starbirth cards today, but if you want to see a prospective set list for Brilliant Stars, I'll leave a link in the description. In total, Brilliant Stars will include 172 cards before Secret Rares, of which there should be several, and I'm using translations from Pokebeach and proxies from Talonite X, so thank you to them for doing all this hard work. One major theme with Brilliant Stars is amazing old abilities returning on new Pokemon. This includes Manaphy with Bench Barrier, Bibarel with Abyssal Hand, and Lumineon V with Wonder Tag. Starting with Lumineon V, it features the ability Luminous Sign, which is a direct copy of Tapu Lele GX's ability. With this, when you play Lumineon from your hand onto your bench, you can go get any supporter card from your deck. While you still can't play a supporter on turn 1 going first, Lumineon V is an upgrade from Eldegoss V since it gives you a way out of an awkward start at the beginning of a game, as well as easy access to a game-winning bosses later in the match. Manaphy's Wave Veil is a direct copy of Mew's Bench Barrier ability, which prevents all damage done to your bench Pokemon by your opponent's attacks. While you aren't protected against damage counters from something like Dragapult VMax, Manaphy will make Jolteon VMax and Rapid Strike Urshifu VMax have a much tougher time in Standard. Manaphy doesn't give you an auto win against those decks though. It only has 70 hit points, so it's fairly weak, but it could protect your Pokemon on a pivotal turn. It's disappointing that it's a blanket ability that protects everyone on your bench and not just single prize Pokemon, but it will give decks like Mad Party and Malamar a better fighting chance in Standard. Speaking of Mad Party and Malamar, Bibarel is an amazing card that will help most single prize decks out there. Efficient Front Teeth is just a copy of Octillery's Abyssal Hand ability, which allows you to draw up to 5 cards in your hand once per Bibarel. Mad Party can forgo the Sinistea engine if it wants, and Malamar can add a copy or two to slot in with Cinccino. Bibarel's 120 hit points is a bit of a drawback since it can't be searched with Level Ball, but the next card helps with that. Yes, love it or hate it, Ultra Ball is making a return to Standard after several years away. One of the best consistency cards ever made, Ultra Ball says, discard 2 cards from your hand. If you do, search your deck for a Pokemon and put it into your hand. Discarding 2 cards can always be a risk, but being able to find any Pokemon you want at pretty much any time is a huge upside. It'll definitely be interesting to see how Ultra Ball impacts the counts of Quick Ball, Evolution Incense, and Level Ball in other decks. Sticking with item cards making a comeback, we have Choice Band, but for Pokemon V. Yes, Choice Belt is a brand new tool that boosts the damage you deal to Pokemon V by 30. This means you can deal 30 extra damage to Pokemon V, VMax, and the new Vstar cards. There's more blasts from the past, with Research and Boss's Orders getting reprints, meaning they will be standard legal for another 2 years. I was kind of hoping we'd have a format without Boss's Orders because Boss's Orders is kind of too powerful right now. You know, I remember the days where it was just Custom Catcher, we didn't have Guzma, we didn't have Bosses, it was just Custom Catcher, things were crazy, but now we're just going to have Research and Bosses, and those are going to be the staple cards for 2 more years. Exciting. We also have Double Colorless Energy returning to Standard, sort of. Double Turbo Energy provides 2 colorless energy, but the attacks deal 20 less damage for each DTE attached to that Pokemon. It's exactly the card Mad Party needed in Standard right now, and it will give other Pokemon with high energy costs a chance to enter the limelight. There's several other trainer cards coming in Brilliant Stars, but I'll just highlight a few more right now. Magma Basin is a stadium that allows you to attach a fire energy from your discard pile to one of your bench fire Pokemon, but you do have to put 2 damage counters on it. Obviously, Welder was a much better card back in the day, but if you want to accelerate fire energy onto one of your fire Pokemon, Magma Basin is the best card to do it. Collapse Stadium is a stadium with a similar effect to Sudowoodo in Expanded, except it limits both players to just 4 bench Pokemon instead of the usual 5. So that will obviously hurt Eternatus, but I mean Path to the Peak hurts Eternatus, and then you can slow down Mew and Genesect a little bit, but I mean Mew and Genesect, they're not going to care about Collapse Stadium. It's just going to be a minor annoyance, not something crazy that changes the tide of the game. And finally, Roseannes Backup, Team Yell's Cheer, and Floatzel should terrify anyone who hates facing control or stall decks. If you want, you can play Roseanne's Cheer and shuffle a Pokemon, a tool, a stadium, and an energy card back into your deck. The next turn, you can use Team Yell's Cheer to shuffle Roseanne's Backup and some Pokemon back into your deck. Then you can use Floatzel's attack to put any 2 item cards like Crushing Hammer or Palpad from your discard pile back into your hand, just like Sableye Junk Hunt in Expanded. While I think that stall and control decks won't quite crack the top decks there in Standard just yet, we are getting so close, it is terrifying, I am so afraid. I hate control install decks. Please stay in expanded. Don't come to standard. But I mean, the days are numbered. We're going to see control install in standard very soon. So be ready. Getting back to the Pokemon, we have NTV and Ry2V. They have the same ability and attack as Suicune V, but their retreat costs and hit points are different. Since you can still use them with Melanie, they may see play or they may not. Who knows? It mostly depends on how valuable fire and lightning types become in regards to weakness. I think Suicune V is still definitely the best of the bunch, but I mean, if you have a metal deck that you can't beat, or a grass deck that you can't beat, or a water deck that you can't beat, then NTV and Ry2V, maybe they slot into a Suicune deck, who knows? It'll be very interesting to see what happens with them. Kindler V and VMax are also interesting. They both allow you the opportunity to attach 5 water energy from your deck to your Pokemon in any way you like, except the V's is on a coin flip and the VMax's is guaranteed. Could Lapras or Wailord suddenly see a rise in play? Probably not, but I mean, attaching 5 energy from your deck on a coin flip on a V for 1 energy, that's insane. Maybe Kingdra sees play? It opens up a lot of possibilities. I don't think it's going to be tier 1, but it's still fun to think about. And one more returning effect I forgot to mention is Zoroart GX's trade. We've already seen it on Cinccino, but now it's going to be on a Dark-type Pokemon, Liepard. Eternatus will love it, and that's about it. While Zacian V is still a great option for drawing cards at the cost of ending your turn, Zamazenta V is throwing its hat in the ring as well. This time around, you discard your hand and draw 5 cards. It can be a bit too costly, but if it allows you to play the game, maybe the cost is correct. If you've ever wanted to play Vespiquen in Standard, Wormadam gives you that chance. For a Twin Energy or a Double Turbo Energy, Wormadam does 30 damage plus 10 more for each Pokemon in your discard pile. It's kinda weak admittedly, but the main draw here is that Wormadam comes in Grass, Fighting, and Metal, so you can potentially exploit a bunch of different weaknesses out there. Again, I think Mad Party is still probably the best single prize deck out there, or I guess Malamar. It'll be interesting to see how that works out, but I mean, Wormadam's another card that could change some things, but I think if you're looking in the single prize space, Malamar is still probably number 1, and then we'll see what happens with Mad Party. I'm going to try Mad Party. I'm excited to play Mad Party with the DTE. We'll see what happens. The first V-Star I'm highlighting, Charizard Vstar, has 280 hit points, gives up 2 prizes, like all V-Stars do, and can deal 230 damage for 3 energy if it has a damage counter on it. Thanks to Magma, Basin, and Melanie, you can have Charizard Vstar up and running without really any work at all. Plus, its V-Star power lets you deal 320 damage, KOing several VMAX Pokemon in the game right now. Obviously, the elephant in the room is Mew VMAX, and Mew VMAX gets better because it has access to Choice Belt and a few other things from the set like Ultra Ball. Being able to do 320 damage is always a plus, so I'm hopeful that Charizard Vstar can shake some things up. Similar to Rayquaza VMAX, Ry2V allows you to deal 60 damage for each lightning energy you discard from your Pokemon in play. Flaffy can bring the energy right back, meaning looping Ry2V back-to-back isn't tough, and the first attack on Raichu can get you an energy on turn 1. Will it actually be good though? I'm not confident, but I mean, come on, it's Raichu. Let's give it a shot, right? Honchkrow V is another Pokemon that could be great in stall decks, allowing you to attach 4 tool cards to it. You could use something like Cape of Toughness to boost it to 400 hit points, or something like Spirit Mass to force your opponent to discard cards from their hand. But the best use for Honchkrow V is with Pachirisu. Pachirisu does 30 damage for each tool card attached to all of your Pokemon. The awkward attack cost definitely sucks, but you do have the potential of dealing 330 damage with 11 tools in play, so maybe it's worth a shot? The second V-Star on the list, Whimsicott Vstar, is another stall potential Pokemon. It can deal 160 damage and stop your opponent from playing tools or special energy from their hand the following turn. And if you can get 6 energy on Whimsicott Vstar, it can one-shot any Pokemon in the game regardless of where it is with its V-Star ability. I know it's a bit of a stretch to include Flygon V on this list when Dragonite V hasn't taken off in Standard, but Flygon V is still interesting. For a very weird energy cost, you can deal 320 damage to a Pokemon VMAX at the cost of discarding 3 energy. Again, not great, but Arceus V and V-Star could tip the scales. Arceus V can attach 3 energy from your deck, but it doesn't deal any damage, while the V-Star does the same thing but adds 200 damage on top of it. I don't know how good the combo will actually be, but think of the potential. That is the best thing about these upcoming sets. You can think about all the potential before the set comes out, because, you know, when you actually get your hands on the set and play the cards, you'll realize VMAX is going to destroy everything. And that'll do it. Obviously, I didn't cover every single worthwhile card coming in Brilliant Stars, so let me know if there's anything you're excited for that I missed. And if you want to watch me use these cards on PTCGO, or maybe Pokemon TCG Live if it ever comes out, follow me on Twitch, where I'll be playing it live on the day of release, which should be February 24th. We'll see what happens. Hopefully I'll see you there, and thanks for watching.